you got it. You got it, Clarence. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just, a little confused in terms of all this quote unquote power that women have. It's just, in my personal opinion, women only do what men allow them to do. So I'm just confused on that.
Well, you're not talking about power right there. You're talking. Are you talking about like a woman, how she deals with you in a relationship? Like, yeah, my woman, she will only do in that relationship what I allow her to get. What I allow her to get away with. I mean, she ain't that chick that's constantly trying to get away with something. But yeah, if I let her do something wrong, and then I no, if she do something wrong and I don't say nothing about it, and then it just becomes a normal thing that she does, and then yeah, I'm letting her get away with it. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about overall because I'm hearing a lot of talk about like we need to galvanize men and work to change the laws. I'm like, what laws exactly?
You don't think that it would be a good law that if we could get something like if when a child is born, it's automatically 50-50 custody no matter what?
In theory, yes, but at the same time, I think we got to be more responsible with who we have kids with. Like the majority of our kids are not born in marriage.
That's a damn cop out, man. Like,
but what I'm saying is, a woman cannot get pregnant without your seed, and you voluntarily gave it to her.
Dude. When men have sex with women, that is not a declaration to have a child. So it be that.
Time out. I want to take it this route. I know where you're going, Ed. So, all right, you're saying a woman cannot get pregnant unless you give her your seed,
and that's a lie too.
Okay, let's stop.
My bad. I'll let the host rock.
All right, let's yeah. Okay, she can't get pregnant unless you give her your seed. That is true. So once you and that woman have that child, regardless of who messed up, how bad you messed up, how bad she messed up, the fact of the matter is she has all the power after the fact. So if we're talking about ways to take back some power after the fact legally to make it to where it's not in a situation even with a divorce, because even with a divorce it ain't fair. But let's just not even deal with the divorce. If we're talking about changing laws to the point to where it's not just automatically her kid and you got to go to a court and pay a bunch of money and file this and file that and do all of that just to, in the end be handed every other weekend and Wednesday from 5 to 8 and have to pay for a child that you only get to see 4 days out of the month. If we're talking about that not being the case, that's something that you as a man should agree with. But I understand, like, your argument should be, yeah, we need to change these laws. We need to make it to where men don't have to go through all those loops to have their kids and their lives and blah, blah, blah. But in the meantime, let's be careful, fellas. Then we got no pushback. But when I brought up the laws and let's make it 1 week on, 1 week off. How about that? You was like, well, yeah, in theory, that's basically saying, no, let's let them keep the power. Let's just make sure that we just in a constant perpetual walking on eggshell state. That's basically what you're saying.
Also,
what I'm saying is that in my personal opinion, men are always 100% responsible for what happens to them because they are men. Once you start talking about
what does that have to do with the laws? What is that? It's not about somebody's fault. If you let's stick to the 50-50 custody. What does that have to do with that needing to change and it being 50-50 custody automatically? Because you said they're both responsible for having a kid 100%, right?
So what I'm saying is this. Since you know what the law is, why did you have that baby? It's really that simple.
He didn't have.
You starting? Yes, I think we starting from a false premise that
what you're saying is, Clarence, everything is a man's fault. And
yeah, that's an oversimplification of life, bro.
And I'm saying that as a man, you are responsible for what you do. Is that not true?
So am I responsible? Hold on. So okay, let me say it this way.
That's quick. No, the short answer to that question is yes.
Yeah, but hold on. So hold on, time out. I'm going somewhere. I'm going somewhere with this. If you get married to a woman and a woman decides to divorce you on some no-fault divorce.
How are you 100%?
So you gonna still pull that same shit?
That means I picked the wrong woman.
Okay, so it's just say it's always the man's fault, and the woman has no accountability to nothing. Add that in there so I know what you want.
That's philosophically not.
Clarence.
What I'm saying.
Hold on, wait.
What I'm saying.
Hear me on this, man. If you're just saying, "Hey, brothers, we got to take more responsibility," then look,
that's not what he's saying.
If he was saying that, we would be with you on that. But you can't. You came in with the premise. I'm sorry. You was like, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out what power do they have. If even in a divorce where the children were born into the marriage, if the woman gets the kids 90% of the time, and according to every attorney I ever talked to, men try to get 50-50 custody the majority of the time, and they don't get it. That is the power that they have. They have the power to where even if both people, hey, they made good decisions, it was a happy relationship, it just didn't work out. They have the power during the separation. You can't deny the simple fact that they got power, and you can't deny the simple fact that that power imbalance affects the outcomes and increases the probability that a man is going to end up in a weaker situation where he's seeing his kids less and he's paying more. And that kid is going to be raised in a situation that we know is statistically problematic,
and that's out of his control. So it can't be.
So to try to say that we don't need to do nothing, we don't need to be even trying to don't mess with the hornet's nest. It's like I don't understand that. I don't understand that. But if you were just simply saying,
let me ask the question.
He's not. You're trying to help him out.
I would love to help people like this.
I understand he's a product of my channel, so I know what I'm dealing with.
He's giving him a golden bridge retreat.
I got a question for you guys. I got a question. Do you agree that there are some women out there that no matter how the relationship ends, she's not going to take the children away because she recognizes the value of her father? Do you agree that there are some women out there?
Okay.
Like that?
Yeah. So the question is what percentage?
Yeah, it has to
so then the question is, why didn't you have a kid with those kind of women?
That's a good question, but you're asking men to bat 1,000, and I don't even ask women to bat 1,000 when it comes to their mating choices. It's one thing for somebody to try to do the right thing and it goes wrong. After it goes wrong, okay, what are the laws, what are the stipulations, and what's the outcomes? But so all we're asking for is
a reasonable person standard, basically. A reasonable person standard. That's what we're asking for.
But if you're this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to put the it's your fault you picked her argument on steroids, but you can't do that if you try to first acknowledge that there is nothing wrong with the law.
This is the problem I have with Clarence.
Hold on.
Time out.
Stop. If you say there's nothing wrong with the laws, you can't then make that argument.
Hold on, let him say it.
You are
responsible. I got one more thing.
You are responsible for who you pick. But at the end of the day, if you end up picking somebody and everything is cool and everything is right with her and y'all got something good going, y'all even get to the point where y'all done got married, y'all done built a family together, and then after all of that, she goes left on you, you can't be that surgical with your picking process.
Right.
But if you picking a chick with fire engine red weave twerking in the club, and then that man picked wrong. If you could pick a
and that's what he's trying to do.
Like basically, the dude, you could pick a woman who on paper everything is right and everything is right about her behavior. When she sit in that damn custody court, divorce court, you don't know what kind of monster is going to come out of her. So no, you can't just say, we'll just be able to see the future and pick the one who wouldn't do that. Well, if it was as simple as identifying that as one that's twerking in the club with fire engine red weave versus one who's singing in the choir at a church, if it was just that simple, but the damn good girl, church girl, would be just as vicious in divorce court, and you know that. So you gaslight us. We know better. Stop.
No, wait.
So hold on.
I got a question for you. I got a question.
Hold on.
Well, what I'm saying is this: if you feel, if guys genuinely feel that
we don't feel, we think, but go ahead.
If they think that the system is genuinely that unbalanced, then Wouldn't it make more sense for men to just not have kids, period, until the laws change?
Which is why 54% of black men don't have kids, which is the widest gap amongst any other race. So much so that black women have to get bottom shelf Brads or bottom shelf Hernandez.
I got a quicker response. What you just described right there is the reason why MGTOW exists. Now, in another breath, I'm sure you will push back against MGTOW.
Right.
No, what I will say is this: MGTOW is a very small percentage.
54%.
Hold on. To that question that you asked, the correct answer for men is to go MGTOW. Your response to that would be like, come on, man, why would you go MGTOW?
Well, he's saying it's a small percentage.
What power do women really have? They don't really have no power. You don't got to go MGTOW. Like,
what I'm saying is, if you believe they have the power, then you should do that.
To what you're saying, if you believe that, then why would you have kids? Most of the men who do believe that, they are actively not having kids or don't want to have any kids or don't want to get married. Now, if a dude does have that belief, but he's just condom off, willy-nilly slinging community semen, you got a guy in a contradiction right there. But if you got a guy who has that belief, like there's a lot of men in this space who have that belief, and they're like, nope, I'm taking a knee on that one. I'm not having any kids. It just is what it is. I will not have children. That's a tough decision for some men, but some men have decided and went that route that they're not going to have kids. So the thing that you're saying, this men already doing it. I'm fortunately in a situation before, I'm fortunately, got my kids out the way, but I mean, I did get married young and I had my kids and went through a divorce and a custody battle and I got custody of my kids. Hard fight. You know the story if you listen to my channel. And so I'm sort of out of that game. But if there is a man who's, let's say he's 30 years old and he does want to have kids and does want to have a family someday, it's just a simple 1 + 1 = 2 equation to say that he's at disadvantage if that relationship ends. Like that part shouldn't be argued or fought against. That's what I'm at. Go ahead.